Hi, hello, and I am live today talking about this topic, erotica and the shame. Erotica and the shame, and this is something that I've been thinking about today. And of course, I was inspired by the conversation with my mom. You see, everything what comes to intimacy, right? Adult adventures, adult life in my family was a shame to talk about, right? So I came from the place where no one was showing any feelings, no one was talking about intimacy, right? And I think that is why I became erotic photographer, right? Erotic photographer for couples, creating, making love movies, making love stories on camera and on film. Okay, so today, today I will tell you this conversation because I was visiting my mom recently, and I brought some toys for my friends. Okay, and I left it and I forgot. And my mom is texting me and saying, "I'm gonna throw this. Okay, these are." These are something what is not supposed to be in the house. And I'm saying, Mom, don't throw it. I paid money for this, right? But what I'm saying is that, what I bought 2 dildos, right, for my friends, just for fun and of course for experience. They can play with their partners, okay? And sometimes people are so blocked and so closed down that they even feel ashamed to go and buy, adult toys. Seriously, that's the situation. So I am from Lithuania, okay, and I came from the Christian family, and everything what was related to love, intimacy, right, intimate conversation, it was a taboo. It was not allowed. By this day, my mom feels ashamed when I'm talking to her. I'm nearly 50, right? I'm nearly 50. And she's saying, you do not respect me. You're talking about these things. You do not respect my house. You bring, toys to my house and left. Okay? Like it's something very shameful. Right? And it is not, in my view, in my perspective, right? I'm so different, clearly, to a certain conservative views. And today the topic is about the shame. Okay, people, not only that they, feeling shy, awkward, okay, feeling shame when they talking about this, right? And I get this all the time when I have a discussion about erotic photoshoot with adults, right? Adults would like to create erotic scenarios, erotic stories, photography, and videos at my studio. And when they call me and when they talk to me, they stumble. They could not even express themselves what exactly they want, or they start lying. Okay? Seriously. They're like, oh, no, not much. We don't want anything, like very, very naughty or something. Just very simple, we're very simple. We don't want anything, right? And then they come to studio and they surprise me. Okay? Maybe they surprise themselves too, right? But what I'm saying is people feel shame. Okay, people feel awkward discussing about erotic, about intimacy, telling the true fantasy. Okay, they're scared. They're scared that what? Someone will judge them. Okay, they're scared that what? Someone will know what they like. Okay, what they scared of? They scared to tell them who they truly are. Because you see, if you tell your erotic fantasy, an erotic fantasy, it is a reflection of you. Okay, it's on the intellectual level. If you are confident and brave to discuss about this, right, your intellectual level is much higher, right? You are sexually open, okay? And then people, they surprised why they are lonely, okay? My mom, you see, she is a beautiful and very clever and hardworking woman, right? She built 3 houses, okay? So she is initiative-taking woman, but she's by herself. She's alone with the dog. right? So I'm initiating erotic, intimate conversation to broaden her understanding so she would not be scared to think about the vibrator, okay? That she would not be scared to think about the man, okay? This is something what comes from their family probably, and I have not met my grandparents, but clearly they were very strict. Clearly they did not, show any affection. Clearly they did not explain that what is love, what is intimacy, right? How people doing it, and that it is healthy, right? A healthy relationship. Nothing is wrong when you intimately connected with your person, right? With your loved one. Actually, it's a great thing that you have an intimacy. And then when adults miss the intimacy, even if they're doing it, they miss on the higher level. That's why I'm talking about fantasy, because fantasy allows you to bring the freedom into your relationship. Okay, fantasy allows you to undress in front of the light. Okay, not to hide. Okay, behind the behind the curtain, or under the duvet, right? So erotica allows people to be themselves. Erotica helps people to create, yeah, to feel the life in a full taste, right? Not just doing things, but actually experimenting, pushing the limits, each other, right? Being with each other, right? And trying new things. Erotica, it's about novelty, okay? Erotica, it's about adventure. It's about risk taking. It's about being on the edge, right? When we talk about couples and when we talk about relationship, I always say, that this is very hard for a couple when they are really long time to desire each other and feel passion when they have it. You see, they have already each other. So they kind of stop putting an effort, okay? They kind of assume that, everything is there, right? And then infidelity comes in, right? Because what you're looking for is for something new, okay? For something new. So that is why I'm discussing erotica, and today's topic is about shame, okay? And I came from the background, okay, where it was shameful, okay, shameful to think about anything what's related with intimacy, shameful to look desired and sexy, okay. My mom would always dress me in the way that I was embarrassed even to go on a date, okay, and so on. I can tell you these things, okay. And recently I visited my mom because she wasn't feeling well, and I felt like a child. I felt like a child there. Okay, such a powerful and strong energy this woman has, to control. To control. Erotica, it's not about controlling. Erotica, it's about letting go. Okay, letting go the handle, letting go of the controlling yourself. Okay, because when you go into climax, right, there is nothing to control there. The more you relax, the more you allow, to feel things, the higher your satisfaction goes. Okay, so it's not about the control. So imagine people living by themselves, lonely life, intimacy is a taboo. Okay, no toys, no anything, no even fantasy. Okay, and such a blocked personality and such a blocked mindset cannot attract the man which they want. I can tell you this. Yeah, that's why they stay single and they will die like this, okay, and nothing I can do about it, right? It's everything in the coding. That's how the mind been programmed, okay. And we are robots. We working and doing things every day as a robot would do, right? We are making the same day the same, okay. Going into routine life, okay. The same happens with the love, intimacy, okay, and the same, relationship, same old stuff. When I'm shooting couples, sometimes I notice, okay, that we plan different scenarios, okay, we plan different outfits, we plan different settings, okay? But when, as soon as they go into intimate mode, they start doing the same thing. And so I'm filming this and I'm observing this, and I could see this, that this is, again, I'm seeing the same, routine. What they're doing. They're doing the same make love routine. Maybe they have 3 or 5 positions maximum. Okay, 5, I am even being generous here. Okay, when you're going into routine, people just stuck on a certain things they like, and it is very hard to go, one step to the side. Okay, so when I'm shooting erotic content with my couples, right, I push them. I dress them. I give them props. I give them toys. Okay, I give them something. Doesn't matter if they use it or not, but they get confused and they get out of that, formula, that routine. That's the whole thing, to distract their brain, okay, and remove that program which is running constantly. If I want to create a very exciting movie to watch, right? No matter what they're wearing, if they're doing the same thing, it's get boring. Okay, and when I notice the sequence that it gets the same, I've noticed very quickly that it's the same game. Like I said, the same trick pony again, right? So I would not say this to my couple, okay? But I would push them to do something different. I would tell them to move differently, okay? I would tell them, you go there, and you meet, and then you create something, right? So I would distract them to the point that they're following certain instruction and they are not in their routine mode, okay? And they are not playing something what is already established as a routine, right? So for a couple to come to erotic studio, right, it is a new adjustment to atmosphere, right? Then there is another addition, me being in the studio. Okay, then another thing, they're getting scared when they see camera. Okay, when they realize that this is going to be there on the spot, the lights are on and it's on them, and everything is so, how to say, exciting, and they feel the thrill at the same time. Okay, so that's the danger, that's the risk. Okay, even if they're not changing the routine, me being there and interfering with them. Okay, and when I mean interfering, I can interfere directly. I can just touch them and say, okay, stop, and now, go and do it. I am not scared to stop people during make love situation. Okay, if I'm seeing that it's not working for camera and it's not excited, I know that they would like something else. Okay, let me just quickly say hi, hello, and today's topic is about shame. There are adults, okay, and I am specifically sharing today a topic about my upbringing and my family, where everywhere, I grew up in a place where people did not speak anything about intimacy. Okay, it was a very closed topic. Okay, you would get certain look, and it's the topic is closed. And when now I am a mature woman trying to speak with my mom about intimacy, just to, how to say, to make her familiar about what's happening in the world, right? We are in 2025 and having toys is okay for a woman, right? It is offensive to her, to hear this conversation from me, that it's coming from me. It is offensive. She says, you can discuss this with friends, okay, but you do not respect me, okay, bringing this up. You see, and it's not funny. When you live in this environment, okay, you become like this, okay, and changing yourself and going into a free zone, in a free mode, okay, it's a challenge, and it's a huge step, right? So if someone wants to talk about erotica, erotic photoshoot, and topic about being blocked, being shy, okay, and feeling shame when it comes to undressing, when it comes to being with your partner, when it comes to opening up, talking about your erotic fantasies, you can text me and we can discuss that on live here. Okay, so very quickly saying hi, hello. and reading out if I have new messages. I have 7 messages. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, beautiful woman. Thank you so much. I accept. Hey, thumb in or thumb out. Okay, there are just 2 choices. In life, there isn't black and white, okay? There are a lot of shades of gray, okay? 50 or more, yeah? So that's all about that. Okay, 2 in the pink, 1 in the brown. No idea. I love your lips. Ciao, Bella. Okay, are you Brazil? Am I Brazil? No, I am in London. Okay, I am in London at the moment, but I know I'm translating to 2 channels. Here is UK channel and here is USA channel. So I am talking to 2 auditorium at the moment. You sound Russian. You don't know Russian then, okay? If I'm sound Russian. You know, people can imagine whatever they imagine, but I speak Sanskrit. Okay, and Russia has a Kirillitsa. Okay, it's a different language at all. So you have no clue what you're talking about, but that's fine. Okay, where did you grow up? Eastern Europe. Correct. Good thoughts. Okay. Good thoughts. Okay, I believe Western societies are more free. Well, I arrived to London. Okay, London is the destination, I believe, where you can have this full-on freedom, right? And I haven't, haven't been, how to say, have no regrets about that. It's a perfect location. I heard about USA. I never been there. But you have also a very big adult business out there and very blocked and limited information about intimacy coming towards you. Okay, I know that in education, children education do not have any information like we have in Europe. Okay, so that is another downside, right? It's actually, you see, when we do not have information about intimacy, about love, about sexuality, people grow into being lonely. Okay, and what I heard is that before there was a very big problem of obesity in USA, and now it's a loneliness. Okay, the other thing is also, being after 50, everyone is on drugs, taking some kind of a medicine from something. Okay, so that's another thing. So being on drugs, of course, it takes your libido down. Okay, and that doesn't matter even what kind of drugs. Okay, when your body thinks that there is something wrong with you and you go to the doctor and you go and find some kind of a help, medications, okay, your mind thinks that this is something wrong with you. Okay, and then it shuts your reproduction system, so you are feeling this differently. Okay, feeling this differently, right? Attraction, erotic fantasies, libidos and stuff. But today I'm talking about shame. Growing up in an environment where intimacy was a shameful thing, okay, where adults were protecting you, okay, in all the ways possible, right? And that is why you grow up like that, being embarrassed, not able to show your sexual markers, not able to connect with people you fancy, not able to present yourself in the right way, and being invisible to the opposite sex. You see, that's how it is. So there is a problem out there, clearly, right? And I would like to discuss this. And today I bring my favorite topic, which is my family, my mom. Okay, my mom, she is the woman who would not talk about intimacy at all. She would avoid this question, and she would admit that this is her weakest part, right? And she she would be a better cook and a housewife, like sorting the house, design, great at this, seriously. She is learn all the recipes, okay? She is very good, you know, at redesigning and re-editing her house, okay? She has a big house, beautiful house, seriously, right? But she's alone in this house. When she put a fireplace, she's sitting alone and watching the fire, okay? So she learned everything except intimacy, sexuality, and she does not allow this to come into her system, okay? And me talking about this just makes her feel offensive, okay? And she thinks I'm disrespecting her in all the ways, right? And of course I don't, right? But it's very hard to change. You see, it's very hard to change, and it's very hard to allow yourself to think this way about yourself if you've been programmed this way, right? There are women in the relationship who feel shy to do many things with their husband, and that is why their husband is looking adult channels and enjoying there, you know, or finding someone else on the side, okay, because they think this is embarrassing, this is low, okay, this is how to say, I don't want to even tell you what they think, you know, right? You know that we have this situation, and it's very hard to break through. There are a lot of guys who would call me and had a certain conversation like, can you teach her do certain things in the bedroom, okay? Like, it's a photographer's job okay, like it's a photographer's job to teach his wife or his girlfriend to be more open, more relaxed, and more sexier, okay? Can she, you know, can you make her do certain things for me, and so on. That kind of a conversations I have with a man, okay, when they want to expand their intimate life, right? When they want to feel totally different things, when they want to experiment, right? And the other half doesn't, right? Erotic photoshoot is one of the topics where I often meet couple, okay, when one wants to do it and the other don't. Seriously, imagine when couple arrives, I could see that this guy is buzzing, okay? He wants to create an erotic video, okay? And he wants to have a hardcore scenes, right? But this woman next to him, she doesn't want to undress, she doesn't want her to be filmed in all the angles, and she, you know, she feels shame and awkward. What if I would take, you know, a picture or a video where she has, you know, a wrinkle, or where she has a, you know, some kind of a cellulite, you know, or whatever, right? Or when I shoot it from the behind and then they see the bum and all the way possible, right? Because we're shooting explicit and so on. They don't like it, okay? So it is a totally different mindset. But when you are with the man and when you are in that higher vibration, right? There are no mindset. But when you are with the man and when you are in that higher vibration, right? There are no limits there. There is no control. And when it comes to erotic photoshoot, you see, that's why people are coming to see professional, okay? Because when you're creating artwork, you have to be in control of the setting, in control of the people who are performing, in control of the lighting, in control of your camera, in control of your angles, and so on. I have to be in control. But they let go. You see, the more they let go, the better the content, the movie is. You know, and then people trying to film it themselves, film it themselves, right? And I am saying how you can, yes, you can do it. Yes, there are a lot of cameras, homemade videos, okay? When they put it camera on the head, or they, you know, or they, what happened? I don't know. My stuff just. My stuff just uploading now, switch off. Okay, YouTube. So what I'm saying is, there are couples who are shooting their own content, right? But if you are in that highest frequency and vibration and experiencing to the limit, to the max, usually your eyes should be closed. Okay, so how you can control the scene if your eyes closed? You don't see anything, right? Most of the time, right? Women especially. And so there are also people, most of the time young ones, when they ask me this thing, oh, we would like to have an erotic shoot, okay, and we are gonna be like naked and we're gonna be performing stuff, and we would like our photographer to be on the same page, you know, to be turned on as us. Okay, and then I said to them that if I would be turned on, I would be shooting with the eyes closed. Okay, that's true. Yes, that's true. Because if you are truly in that vibe, into the climax, you're not supposed to be, you know, in control, and you're not supposed to be looking at the angles and lighting, you know, and framing and settings, right? So if you're doing this professionally, there has to be someone else on the side able to film it for you. That's why couple in reality cannot create a real hardcore movie by themselves, okay? Because they're not able to reach certain places, right? When the photographer can go around and do that for them, right? From the any angle, right? Any direction. Of course, you can set up few cameras, but those cameras would not be moving. Someone has to control them, okay? And in the movement, there is an energy, because when you're shooting just stiff content, you're losing a lot of data, you know? And the closer you get to the climax people, the better the content is. That's what is my belief, okay? So yeah, so hiring a professional, you could cover all the aspects, okay? Your artwork will be on point, it will be stronger, you will make more stuff, it will be more creative, and of course it will be shot to the standard, right? To the standard, and of course edited, right? Edited. That's another thing. What happens after the shoot, okay? The post-production. And the post-production is the most maybe complicated and time-consuming, right? When we create certain movies. Okay, let me quickly say hi again and answer questions. I am in control. Well, I can tell you, if you think you are, okay, you think now, right? In reality, is no one here in control, okay? If you want to live a really, really happy life, right, you have to give that control to someone who is above, okay? That's how it's happening. So you are lying to yourself all the time. No one is in control. Okay, how you fix that? How do I fix that? What do I fix that? Intimacy is the taboo. That is correct. Today's topic is feeling shame when we discuss intimacy, when we prepare for erotic photo shoot, for example. Because I'm a photographer, that's what I discuss, okay? I discuss erotic photo shoots and erotic filming. Okay, so that is the topic. And I came from the family where it was taboo, right? And for me, discussing about intimacy, it's like breaking into freedom, you know, breaking into freedom and doing something what is wrong, you know, for a really long time. For a really long time. You are so stunningly beautiful. Thank you. Viewers to share, I believe about society are more free. Yes, that is correct. I believe so too. Okay, cookie dough or dildo. No, actually, in the reality, right? In the reality, we have intimacy and we think it is down there. But intimacy starts in here, with your programming, okay? With your imagination. Animals are doing it, okay? And humans have a fantasy, okay? And that's when you start using it, right? Imagination, when you are spontaneous, when you have an intuition about yourself, about your partner, about your climax, right? Where you're going with it, right? How you're leading it, right? It's totally another level, right? So when I was talking about toys, okay, yes, it brings a totally different environment. People should try this, okay? Not to be scared, right? The children are playing with toys. It is normal, okay? When we talk about adults playing, straight away it is a taboo, okay? But believe me, the only game adults want to play is an intimate game, right? What this world made us to play a money game, okay? And everyone is chasing money, and everyone cares about that, okay? Everywhere where I go on social media, it's about how to make money, 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 money. In the reality, the universe is rewarding you for who you are and what you do in life, okay? And that's where you get money, right? You can't catch the money. You can run after money, right? You've been rewarded. You've been given, right? You can't even make them. They're giving to you, okay? That is my mindset about money, right? So that's why I'm making this video, because I know that I came here to this planet to talk about these things. I'm good at that. Okay, like really, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Okay, I found myself, and I have to discuss these topics, right? To discuss with you, so that you would think that, you know what, actually, it's not so scary, okay? And it's an adult thing to be confident when you talk about intimacy, erotic fantasies, okay? Because children are getting scared. Okay, children feel ashamed and shy. That is the normal. That's what adult make you feel. You know, shy and embarrassed about certain things. When you grow up and then you still are embarrassed or ashamed about those things, you are in the child's vibration. Okay, and when I am seeing a person who is shy or embarrassed, it is not in a sexual energy. No one would want him or her, okay? No one sleeps with children, okay? It's an incest. So when adult goes into a child's vibration, okay, the adult adventure or adult games got in a lower frequency. It doesn't go high, okay? So that is very important to understand where you are. Okay, so continuing about toys, nothing will replace a partner, okay? When guy is thinking that there are some toys that a woman could play and that's gonna be a substitute, that's not true. Okay, woman cannot live without men, and that's the thing what I want to bring, right? I know that women become independent, they can make their own money, they can, you know, do a lot of things now, okay? But they cannot get into the climax by themselves, to that high that they really want, or they feel that they can, okay? Really, it's not possible, right? So that's why I bring that, respect to men. That's why I'm there, to connect with the woman. Because when the energy connect and collide, the magic is happen. You get healed, okay? You recover. You been re-edited, restored, rejuvenated, okay? No, seriously, that's why we have each other, women and men. Not to get ill, not to age and get old. I mean, aging is happening, but you see when people are getting old very young, okay, that is worries me. Okay, my mom, she is in that age when she's aging, but she thinks she's old and it's over, okay? She thinks it's a finito la commedia. There is nothing else, okay? It is scary when people have nothing to look forward, and they do not think that, being old and thinking about the partner or thinking about the love, it's, it's bonkers. It's ridiculous, okay? Like, it didn't happen the whole life. It's not gonna happen, at this time. And not to have this even a fantasy, not to allow yourself to think about that, right? It is a bad thing, right? So that was worrying me. So no, there is no toy that would replace the man, right? But like I say, children like toys because they are developing, right? We are going into the game and we are developing, right? So that's why we have toys, so that we can develop even more, right? That's why it's there, okay? And if it's there, it means there is a place for it, and we shall use it. Yeah. Intimacy is a taboo. I heard that. Yes, that's correct. Okay, that's correct. Let me see what we have. How you fix that? Okay, it's been this question. How do I fix that? I would fix this with my art. Okay, I have this idea that if I would publish online galleries and I would keep informing people, okay, about sexual energy, intimate energy, about the highest power, okay, this is the highest energy people forgot about, okay, but that's where you get the biggest resource. It's the sexual energy. And I don't need to tell you this. You know that the sexual energy converts into money too. Okay? You just have to feel it, and own it, right? Not to be afraid, not to be scared, not to be shy. You see, when you do not allow yourself sexual energy to be in, you are not abundant even in your climax. You're not allowing yourself even to come in the way you could. There is a block over here. You do not even understand that it's possible. And then when you block and you do not allow this to come in a full force, there are other things that are not coming in the full way, full force, right? You're not getting paid the same, the wages that you expect. Everything is downgrading, not starting from this sexual energy, what you allow yourself to be in, how you allow yourself to be with your partner. You see, there are people who are intimate with their partner and hiding a lot of information from them about who they truly are, okay, and being secret. Yeah, because when I'm shooting erotic photography, I know a lot of secrets. I spoke with thousands and thousands men about erotic fantasies. This is something that I have, as a big baggage behind it, right? I'm in adult business for more than 20 years, and I spoke with men because men is my auditorium. Now when I'm making lives, there are 90% or more men watching it, okay? And it was always like this on the all social media, right? And even when it comes to erotic photoshoot, most of the time men are getting in touch, right? And then they are trying to convince their wives and girlfriends, okay, to do it, right? And not every time they succeed, okay? So that is something, right? So I think my mission here is to create sex art and show all of these galleries so that the world will be awakened. Imagine everyone is waking up with the thought about love and intimacy and connection, not about, other stuff. Imagine that. Imagine when I go and exhibit my galleries, there will be people going there and getting so turned on that after, visiting a certain city, the birth rate would be higher. Imagine that, okay? That's something what I think about. There are countries where the birth rate is very low, so I should go there first. Okay, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Because if everyone is in control and controlling, and you are limiting yourself and you are living in that negative energy, which is, feeling ashamed, feeling awkward, feeling, embarrassed, feeling guilty of, being an adult, having a fantasy, afraid to be judged, and so on. That's all the negative vibration. Okay. What we have here, someone wake up, good morning, hope your day is going well. It is. Everything happens for a reason, and there are no such thing as coincidence. That's correct. That's correct. The universe is very clever. It's very clever. You know, every day it surprises me how clever everything is in the world. Everything is set up and everything is perfect. Okay, this is only us who disagree because we want to be in control the events, control the humans, control the certain actions. You know, that's a crazy control thing. I don't know how. Love your glasses, thank you. Devotion to my mystic law of causes and effect. Mystic law. If I take this out of this context and use the word mystic, erotic photoshoots are mystic. It is very mysterious. Okay, in general, service is mysterious. People do not know much about it, so everything is new for them. Then when it comes to erotic fantasies, the clients try to be very mysterious, okay, when they are describing, right? Someone is downgrading, someone are upgrading too much of their fantasy, okay, then the reality is. So there are a lot of mystery. Yeah, erotica is a mystery, so I can take that word out, it perfectly matches, right? Alignment with the universe is very important. Yes, do you know what the universe wants? Do you know? The universe wants you to live. Okay, you was given a life not to make money, you know, not to make money, not to be ill. Okay, the life wants you to live fully, freely, okay, and to have not just a life, but to be in the vibrant, you know, alignment. It's just, how to say, feel it in your bones. You know, when you was happy, okay, like so happy, right? That's kind of a feeling, right? Life wants you to constantly feel this way, okay? Feel happy. And you only happy when you're doing the things that you love, you want, okay? So people are stopping themselves, controlling themselves, and trying many things to do. It's all going against the life rules, right? We all have what's called a godlike nature from within us. Godlike nature, there is a part of the gods, of course, are in us, but I believe they are watching what we're doing. The moment we're going aside, we're getting punished. Okay, so everyone should be doing what they're doing, right? That's how the universe works, okay? People who, you know, raise the cattle, raise the cattle. People who building the houses, building the houses. Julia is doing erotica, erotic photo shoots with couples, with singles, developing their sexual energy, helping them to understand what it is to be free as an adult in your sexuality and in your fantasy, okay? And when I provide erotic intent to them, okay, when I'm shooting, I'm helping them, you know, to get rid of those masks. You see, we are protecting. We're putting a lot of masks. And then when people come to erotic photo shoot, they say, I'm not photogenic, or they're scared, or they're being shy, you know, or they do not like themselves, you see. Arriving to a photo shoot and knowing, okay, and knowing that it's going to be very hard to take a great picture, yeah? That kind of opinion people have about themselves, okay, about who they are. I understand. What is the hell? There is no hell. Actually, there is no hell. If you die, you will understand one thing. People die in the... I can tell you about the death because I know, okay? So different mind develops in a different way. This is all we're going through the evolution. Different stages. People live different lives and playing their own game. And depending on your evolution, you will go into a different experience with death. There is no death. There is none. Okay, my first death was when I suffocated. That's how I died first time. Okay. Yes, and all these stories about the tunnel and all the life going in front of you and stuff. There is no death. Okay, there is no time. Okay. But that's another thing, not everyone understands what I'm saying. Okay, this is an evolution going on, people developing themselves, right, in terms of the energy. That's what's happening now. This bunny world, it's a new world we're living. We're developing our energies here. Okay, so not everyone would understand, and that is okay. Okay, you can't be in the same class, on the same level. The whole world is going into evolution by the stages. Okay, there has to be a stage 1 and there has to be a higher stages. That's how the evolution goes. Okay, that's normal. You in the class 1 is fine. Someone in the class 5 is fine. Everyone is taking their own place. Karma is very strict but always very fair. Another thing about karma. Karma, that also that people created. Okay, karma. Okay, karma. Well, we all create our karma. Okay, this is everything what we do. We are creators. Okay, if someone is unhappy about something, right, this is you who made it. There's no one else. When you truly understand this, then you will get somewhere. Okay, everything that you create, it's a game that you are loading in every day. Okay, there is a morning and you're loading into the same game. Okay, there is another morning and you're loading into the same game. Okay, till one day you will just go somewhere else. We all have the ability to change our karma from our poisons into medicines. Poisons and medicine, that's a very big topic. Okay, I'm not going to discuss this, but maybe I will write down and we can discuss about poisons. The poison happens in your body only, you see, everything starts from an emotion, right? Every disease starts from the emotion. Every cancer, oncology starts from the emotion, much longer than it actually physically affects your body. Okay, so emotion is what you need to control. Okay, but we came to this world to feel something, to experience this. And evolution happens through the feelings and emotions in our body, right? Because that's how we feel. We feel through our brain. You think that you are inhaling air? No. You think that you are listening with your ear? No. All information is translated to you in your brain. And translation you receive depending on who you are and what are the programs running in your head. Okay, and everyone understands this information, what I'm talking right now, in a different way. Okay, someone has no clue. Okay, and someone does. Okay, so a little more dumb listening to her. I think I just got there is no dumb people. Okay, like I say, everyone is in their own places. Okay. You're supposed to be where you're supposed to be, and the life is perfect. Okay, we all have ability. Okay, I had read this question. Intimacy is very important topic. It's crucial. That's why you become an adult. Okay? You didn't stay a child, right? You become an adult to live the life. Okay? You got the gift. And you had to grow up to use that gift. Your gift is sexual energy, right? You can pass on that information to future generations. This is your goal in life, okay? To be an adult and to experience intimacy, okay? And of course, prolong it, right? Like I say, prolong it. Not everyone has children. Okay, but you can put in work in a project, you can be a researcher, you can be a scientist, you can, open something new, okay? Erotica is a new thing. Science is about new thing. Science is not discovering anything what is old. Science is bringing something what you have no clue about and delivering, explaining, chewing and giving to you on the hand. The same as in erotica. If you're experiencing sexual energy which is new in your body, you are in that vibration, okay? Erotica, it's about new. Only new adventure, okay? That's the thrill, that's the excitement you should be feeling in your body. And you can play this game again and again, right? If you know what is the erotica and what's the energy. Right? So intimacy is a crucial topic. Crucial. I've been talking about my mom here, okay? She is building houses, right? She built 3 houses in her life. She knows how to build the houses. She knows how to do the decoration. She, design and everything. She invested her life in doing something, but she is single, alone woman because she doesn't open that information to intimacy and to adult life. It is closed book for her. Okay, so people are learning and how to say doing something else, right? But not interested in expanding their knowledge, understanding about sexual energy. Okay, she's rather do another makeover in her house. It's much easier than talk about intimacy with me, right? That's the thing. That's how the mindset. And everyone should be. I allow people to be the way they are. You see, I can't change everyone. People can change only by themselves. Even, that's the thing. Age is just a state of mind. Yes, that's correct. When I'm shooting erotica, okay, and when I am in that energy with people, when they're making love, okay, and they seriously doing it because of they have a passion, desire, and energy, their face and body changes, okay, and I am shooting totally different people. They are changed. Yesterday I had this live telling, yesterday maybe, I don't know, but I had this couple recently in their 60s. And when they were after 3 hours, then when they get rid of all these inhibitions, okay, which takes usually to create a really good content takes 2-3 hours for me, right? And for any kind of adult, right? It takes time to extract this energy and put them into a certain vibe, right? Their change, their face changes, okay? No, seriously, these are totally two different people. In their energy, in their face, they're just younger, much younger. Like I'm looking at them and thinking they're 35, not 65, okay? That's how much dramatic it is, this sexual energy, okay? This is what keeps you alive, right? So everything is a state of mind. Yes, stunning, thank you. Okay, I'm going to finish this live. Thank you so much for being with me. And thank you for writing me questions and asking stuff. Okay. 6 new messages. Let me just see. Hey, Julia. Hey. Okay, I'm saying hi. Okay. That's all I can see. Unfortunately, sometimes I've noticed when you send one message after the other, I am able just to see one of them. For some reason, that's how displayed it there on the screen. And I don't know how to go deeper and look into it. So I am sorry if I have not answered to other questions, but thank you so much for being here. And today I had this topic about erotica and the shame. And adults feel this energy, okay? Not only when they're shooting erotica, not only when they're undressing in the studio and creating photography and videos. They're feeling it on the daily basis, okay? When it comes to talking to another person, when it comes to flirting, okay? When it comes to creating a certain connection, when it comes to opening up and telling what is this ultimate fantasy of yours, okay? When it comes to honesty, Okay, when it comes to reaching the other heights in your intimacy. Okay, so there are a lot of blocks out there, and it was placed not by us, by adults. Okay, adults blocked you, and your job is to unblock yourself and remove all these layers of shyness, embarrassment, guilt, insecurity, awkwardness, okay, shame. That's your job. It's your job. No one else will do it for you. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Love you, kiss you, mean it. Okay, last message if I see it sophisticated. Another compliment, like it, like it. Thanks for your compliments, and see you later. See you later. Bye bye. Thanks.